Well, the St. Louis Circuit Attorney has charged a man accused of leaving an infant, yes, an infant, right in the middle of a busy street. Video of the incident is now circulating online, but First Alert 4 has not verified it. So charging documents say 36-year-old Christopher Pearson left a baby in its car seat in the middle of Goodfellow Avenue near Natural Bridge. Witnesses say they saw Pearson putting the car seat in one of the driving lanes and then leaving the scene. Another witness quickly moved the baby from the street without injury. Police later discovered from the mother that Pearson was supposed to be watching the baby. He's charged with first-degree endangering the welfare of a child.